So what all have you done over the years at Hyundai and Ocean that has brought you to this point?
Thank you. Yeah, I returned to Hyundai in 2023, and in the global sales marketing position. It's kind of a, I'd say, intriguing title. So probably to give you a little bit more insight, that job is a job I continue to have, and it's really focused on building more performance and more marketing-driven sales performance globally in all the markets. However, our top three priorities globally are the USA, so very focused on the US. So it was kind of a natural progression to lean in and oversee creative and performance marketing in the overall organization in the US as well.
And you were at Ocean previously.
I was at Ocean. We work very closely with Ocean. I think for many in the room, they're familiar with our, I would say, vertically integrated structure with a lot of our affiliates. So in Ocean, we work very, very closely with as an advertising partner, and it's great. While I was there, it's really helpful because we work so close. So as an agency, you get a lot of insight that maybe you don't necessarily get traditionally at another, I'd say, more traditional agency client relationship. And then it just reached a point where I was working on topics that kind of crossed over beyond what the agency should be working on, and it was time for me to come back. I had been at Hyundai from 2016 to 2018, gone to Ocean, and then returned in 2023. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So as the new CMO, what is your vision for the brand for the next year and for the next 5 years? Any big changes from what we've seen in the past few years in terms of media buys or creative tonality?
You know, the big change, I think, is really just focusing on what's working already for us. So live sports has been a really important part of our media buying. We're going to continue to invest and double down. There's a lot of opportunity in live sports right now with a lot of the network rights deals being refreshed recently with the NFL and NBA, so you can continue to see us investing there. I'd say some of the new adjustments is investing more across all three tiers. So we're making big investments to make sure our dealers have the right amount of resources to do their role and really empowering our dealers to deliver more customer experiences. And overall, more data to help inform what the customer needs are at each of the individual touch points. So I think, you know, a lot of the partners that we have can bring a lot of those signals, and it's just reached a point with technology to where we're able to do a lot more with that information. So we're going to continue to do more of that.
So speaking of creative, your recent social content initiative with actress Julie Bowen for Teen Driver Safety Week is really fun. We were talking about it out in the hallway. Who doesn't love Julie Bowen? She's just hilarious. So let's take a look at one of those spots, and then we can talk about how it came about.
Let's do it.
All right.
Go. Hello, Internet. It's me, Julie Bowen, America's Funniest Mom.
Stop, Mom.
Okay. I am here with two of my sons today who are clearly not amused to talk about why kids their age don't want to get their driver's licenses.
Because we have so many other options.
Like what?
Like scooters.
Like scooters? You're going to go on a date on a scooter?
You drive us wherever we want to go anyways.
Yes, I know, but if you drove yourselves, I could drive myself somewhere I actually wanted to go.
You mean without your kids?
Exactly. Okay, so they're not giving me a whole lot to go on right now. Stay tuned, Internet, as I try to pry some more fascinating insights out of these two about why teen drivers are so reluctant to get their license. Yeah, there you go, there you go. Go, 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 go. Ah! Wait, okay, keep going. Okay, forward a little, forward. No, 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 okay. Okay, now straighten her out. You're doing great, you're doing great.
He could have just used the technology, and he wouldn't have had to do that the old-fashioned way. But you know what? Kids need to learn how to do that for crying out loud. I think
agree.
all kids need to learn that.
No, but that's really fun. Yeah.
So that was the first spot of several, and it's a series. And you know, what prompted you to take this approach? Kind of I mean, that's a topic everybody talks about. You know, how do we get kids, Gen Z and younger, interested in driving, and how do we do it?
I think that's a good way to do it. I think, you know, again, we talked about some of the data insights, just knowing what's going on with teen drivers and some of the anxieties they have, and doing it in a fun way to both reach both moms and dads who probably are dealing with that situation, but also the kids that are experiencing that. It's really nice to have content that plays into it, and then serving those audiences. So it's going well.
What are the other, I probably should have showed another one, but what are the other ones seem like the creative,
It's just different, more of what we were saying in terms of the safety features and functionality of the car playing a role in easing some of that anxiety. So there's a lot of great features our cars have, and so just getting kids comfortable with letting the car and the safety technology make them more comfortable about driving.
So you can show off the car and have fun while doing it. So Julie seems like a really natural fit for the brand. How do you feel about celebrities and marketing in general? Is it important that they not overshadow the vehicles, and how do you strike that balance? Hyundai's used a fair amount of celebrities in the past, particularly in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think celebrities play an important role with the right application. We've got Jason Bateman is still our official brand voice, so we have him, and he's done a great job. And with everything going on with that podcast on Smartless and all that, that's also continued to grow, so big fan of that. I think, celebrities are all about kind of the right application, the right creative idea. I don't know that celebrities are a North Star, but for the right venue and the right application, we continue to use them. And I think it helps in a world of quick scrolls and content overload. Sometimes celebrities help make you take notice. So in those applications, we'll continue to use them.
Very cool. So speaking of, you mentioned sports at the beginning in the NFL. You guys had a seat at the Olympic table, but in kind of a unusual way. Yeah. So let's show the spot, and then we can talk about it.
Perfect. Well, this isn't the Olympics.
No, it's not.
No, but this is a really good one, guys. You're going to like this one.
We're supposed to show that when
That's
we
a good
talked
one.
about electric. So
that's okay. Let's talk about that.
Never
one.
mind the Olympics.
Let's
we'll
talk about that one
electric
right now.
stuff.
I think that's good. Yeah, I think we wanted to take an approach on the EV campaign where I think a lot of people were in a bit of a race of what's the latest, extended range or different kind of specs, and we wanted to bring some fun and energy to the segment, and it's been going really, really well for us. So that started in May. I think we're the only brand that grew in the EV segment year over year and versus first half in the third quarter. So we're continuing to see momentum, and we're really all in on bringing more energy and excitement. That Ioniq 5N is actually my daily driver, and I love it. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, that is very cool. Here's my question about EVs.
Okay, yeah.
So the Ioniq 5 has won all kinds of awards, and you've got the upcoming Ioniq 5N. So how do you think EV marketing differs from ICE marketing, or does it?
I think traditionally it has for the segment, and I think that was kind of the point of this campaign, was making sure that, buying a car should be exciting, wanting a new car should be exciting, and, not name names, but other brands maybe aren't updating their products, and our designs are really exciting. So we wanted to highlight the different vehicles we have, and Missy Elliott doesn't hurt. I asked my kids to make sure that Missy Elliott wasn't mid, or whatever the kids are calling it now, and I was told it's not, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, the music in that spot is fantastic, and it's really fits the energy very well.
Yeah.
So I got my questions confused.
All
now
good.
we're going to
I'm
talk
rolling with
about the
punches,
Olympics, and this is the end of the day, so bear with me, folks. Cocktails are only 20 minutes away or something. So the Olympics, you guys had an interesting approach, different than what you normally see with athletes, so let's watch that one.
How was practice?
Good.
You okay, man?
I don't know.
You don't have to keep doing this.
Maybe it's time to take a break.
Like a break from gymnastics.
Wait up! Come on, focus.
You serious?
Yeah. Switch things up.
Not because it's hard.
Let's go again.
Or because you don't like getting up at 5 in the morning.
I can tell you're doing it for that look on my face.
You gotta go find what you love.
I want you to do what makes you happy.
It's a good one, right?
Yeah. No, I was going to say. All right, now we're back. So, you know, it's an interesting approach because it's not a ton of the car, but you see a lot of the interior of the car. And how many people have had those conversations with their kids in cars? You know, cars are like therapy rooms in a way, you know? So, you know, and that tested really, really well. It's done tremendous for you guys.
Beyond the test, it's performed really well for us. I think it's another example of us getting some good insights about what customers and conversations that they're having. And like you said, the car is it's what brings you back and forth from practice and sports and with kids in sports. Even personally, I know that a lot of what's going on in youth sports is if you're not playing year-round club at age 7, you're not going to play in high school. And so this pressure is a real thing, a real conversation happening in cars. And I think Hyundai continues to want to emphasize that we think of people before cars, and so we want to make sure that we deliver that message in a way that makes sense. And doing that in the Olympics, it's worked really well for the brand, and we've got a lot of great feedback. And so, yeah, we're excited. We're proud of that one. That's a good one.
Well, speaking of kids, I see you have been a volunteer promoter at Share Our Strength, No Kid Hungry. That is very cool. And Hyundai does a lot of great charity work via Hope on Wheels. And why is the charity work and stuff like that important for the brand?
Well, brand aside, just doing more for people is in general just a North Star for me personally. And, Hyundai Hope on Wheels is something that we believe in. And frankly, we don't merchandise a lot about, I think because of the reasons that we do it is really about pediatric cancer. So for those that don't know, Hyundai Hope on Wheels is a charity that we've started with our dealers in partnership, and every vehicle we sell goes to helping pediatric cancer research. We've, I think just this last year, passed the 250 million mark in terms of funds raised, so we're really proud of it. We don't necessarily do it for the brand purposes, why it's a little, I'd say probably one of our best kept secrets. But it's a very powerful thing. We have a gala every year in DC that I've attended, and seeing the families that have been impacted by that research and kids that are survivors that are now ambassadors, I mean, it gets me emotional just, having kids and seeing that it's a really important thing that we're proud of doing. So it's great.
It shows how you guys are walking, the talk in terms of caring about people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about multicultural efforts. You did some really cool stuff with the Santa Fe earlier in the year. And let's go ahead and watch the drop, hopefully.
Are you serious?
Did you get him?
I didn't.
Wow, you never miss a drop. I mean, you could always try the line.
I got something better. I'm on my way.
I was up late night ballin', counting up hundreds by the thousand.
Okay,
I was
okay.
up late night ballin', counting up late night ballin', counting up hundreds by the
Did I lie?
Yeah, it's a better drop.
The all-new Hyundai Santa Fe.
Great way to show
It's
off
fun,
the vehicle.
right? It's a
Super
good-looking car,
fun.
too.
So, OK Hyundai has worked extremely well for the brand. How, does it have legs for the foreseeable future? Or?
I think so. I think that's doing really well for us. We've got a really smart team, Unique, and the team at Culture Brands led that work, and we work really closely with them. Everything we get out of that team continues to perform really well, and I think because it's authentic, it's sincere, and you're going to continue to see more of that work. In fact, we're probably going to be doing more in our live sports. You'll see a lot more of the work from that team, so we're really happy about that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, the NFL season has been heating up. Go Lions. Let's talk a minute about partnerships and sports marketing in general, and why is that a good fit for Hyundai? And is it more important for brand development or sales or combination?
Yes. All of the above. Yeah. I think anytime you get large groups of people watching something live and that they're passionate about is a good thing for advertisers. It's why it commands the prices that it does. And there's only so much available. So it's definitely a space to be and invest, and we'll continue to do that. We've got a lot of exciting things coming here to California with another Super Bowl in the slate. We've got World Cup. We've got the Olympics. So live sports in general are important to us, and as long as it's important to consumers, it's a great place for us to be. Yeah.
That's a really good segue to my next question, which is Super Bowl.
Yes.
You guys have done a great job of both being on the Super Bowl and being near the Super Bowl. and making
We've been
it,
in the Super Bowl too.
you've been in the Super Bowl many times, and then near it enough so that people thought you were in the Super Bowl. I think you won an award one year for the You weren't even actually technically on it. And
Yeah, we were there.
yeah, and it's like people thought, oh, they were on the Super Bowl. So how are you going to keep doing that, and why is that effective?
I think all of the above are effective. We've had great success being in the Super Bowl, as you said, being nearby, adjacent, whatever the scenario is. But I think it all really just depends on the individual campaign, some of our business priorities that we have going on in that quarter. It's a great vehicle. I think the press you get from being in the actual Super Bowl is something very powerful. But it's really kind of just tailoring that to whatever our priorities are annually. We're going to have a big presence in March Madness this year. We're going to have a big presence in other live sports. So it's really just timing those things out with our business plans and putting together the right overall strategy.
Wait, did you answer my question? Are you going to be in the Super Bowl?
No, I did not answer that question. Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So no comment for the moment?
No comment.
Okay, fine. All right. I tried. You know,
Tried, yeah,
all I can do
exactly.
is try. What else do you have coming up after the Super Bowl for creative and like the next quarter, half
Well,
year?
we got a great car that we debuted here today,
you
so
did.
that's going to be coming up in the late spring. We're excited about that.
You want to talk about that car? And
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
a all EV 3-row SUV that I think really we talked about it a little bit today. It's kind of a no compromise car. So we talked about youth sports, etc. It is designed for that target audience. So this idea of having a car that has room for everybody, technology to make it easier to connect with everybody in the car. And it's just a great looking vehicle. So I think we're going to do really well with it. We're excited about bringing that to the market later this year or in 2025.
excellent.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else that you want to talk about that we haven't hit on?
I can't think of anything we didn't cover.
Yeah, I think we covered all the
We did a
questions.
pretty
So
good job. Yeah.
hopefully we've got a full room here. Maybe I didn't prep you guys to say, now be thinking of your question, but
Got a
hopefully
question over
somebody-
here.
Okay, cool.
Hi, I already spoke, but I'm Karen Osborne. I'm with Campbell Marketing and Communications. And you were talking about the live sports, which I think is, makes a huge amount of sense. If you want to get me to see a TV commercial, that's about the only way you will. But I'm also interested in what you're doing actually at the events. Are you leaning in at sporting events, and what are you doing to connect with people in person?
Yeah, I'd say a big part of our strategy on being at the events is also a bit of a grassroots approach as well, right? So when we talk about youth sports, how do we as a brand show up there? How do we help our dealers get involved? So really starting at all levels of on-site kind of activations is important to us. So opportunities for there are something we continue to look for. But we definitely have a large presence nationally with a number of teams in different leagues that we activate on throughout the season. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sean, Matt Mendez, Trade Desk, good to see you. Hyundai, you've always been so bleeding edge and strategic with the way that you use consumer data. Have you been testing, or is there a role with connected car data in how you can leverage that, either for marketing strategies, from a planning standpoint? Is there any connection there?
That's Matt from Trade Desk. He's very good. That was very nice, Matt, of you to say we're on the bleeding edge. We do have a rule. We don't really want to reveal any bleeding edge advantages to our competitors, so we'll save that for a meeting with you. But I would say yes. I think there's a lot of opportunities to bring connected car data, but we'll keep that just for our advantage. Yeah. But good question. Thank you, Matt.
Sean, we've talked a bit about this, but
wait, who's this?
Paul Eisenstein, excuse me, losing my voice from Headlight.News. There's a lot of talk, obviously, about what's going to happen with EVs here at the show and everywhere you and I talked about this last couple days. How do you see the message that will be used in advertising, Hyundai or perhaps for the industry-wide, changing? And for two reasons. One is just a change in who's out there. We've gone past the early adopters like myself, but also having a change of administration and with a person who may not just be uninterested in promoting EVs, but at times has shown himself to talk about how awful they are and how awful green technology is, because cancer is caused by windmills and such. So how do you change the message both for a different audience and for different times?
There are a number of questions in that question. I will say that my answer.
It's Paul Eisenstein. There's
it is
always
Paul.
it's a three-part question.
It's good. I've got a three-prong answer. So I'd say messaging change. We kind of showed our message, Paul, just in that campaign work. I think showing EVs in a fun way is something we're going to continue to do. In terms of messaging, I don't think we have to change our message too much. We're all in on the segment, and we've got great vehicles that continue to grow share in the market. Our friends like Matt at Trade Desk allow us to reach specific audiences and understand maybe those that might be closer to going from ICE to EV and where we want to build frequency. So I think the key for EVs for us is making sure that we don't jump the shark in terms of over-investing on the individual product so that we can continue to grow our diverse portfolio of powertrains without losing momentum in the segment, right? And so I think we lean on a lot of partners that are here in the room that help us make those good decisions and really continue to have a steady presence for those that are probably nearest to deliver value for us in terms of sales, and not get so low funnel that we're not speaking to a broader audience. And that's kind of the sweet spot that we stay in.
You're going to focus more on EV as EV broad, get the message across. That you're going to focus more on marketing EVs as we have all these EVs and not necessarily see a lot of ads that are very clearly saying EV6, EV5N, EV9, and so on.
No, I think we're going to continue to do both. I don't think you should be surprised to see an Ioniq 9 in a major live sports event in the near future, and I think we'll continue to build frequency. Yeah. No, not that one. Yeah. No.
All right. Well, thank you so much. That was awesome, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tanya.
Thank you so much.